what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business, not because
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the 16th episode of the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. I'm sitting here with my special guest. This man here coached a variety of sports: softball, baseball, football with the Eagles at West Craven High School. This man that I'm about to talk to is everywhere on the sports scene, and he's a West Craven alumni himself. Coach Larry Taylor, how you doing, big homie?
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, how you been doing during the quarantine?
Man, I'm always good. Quarantine and no, I stay good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, talk about your little life story. Where you from?
Right here, Craven County. Grew up out in Gold City and Pleasant Hill.
Yes, sir.
West Craven alumni, like you said. Started over here, went to elementary school in New Bern, and we moved out to the middle school after that.
Yes, sir.
Been out there ever since. That's it, man. Coaching. My first kid got me into coaching through softball, and then I've always been a part of coaching football. I don't know how long.
Yeah.
But for the most part, and that's it. Coaching is my life. Coaching and family. That's it.
Family, wife, and kids. How many kids?
4 kids, wife. All the kids compete in rec sports and travel sports.
Now, that's something you put into them, or that's something they already had within themselves?
It was one of those deals where it was introduced to them, and they just kind of took it and ran with it. I think forcing a kid to do something never works out. You get more out of a kid, an athlete, a person, when they get an opportunity to be a part of something that they want to be a part of.
Yes, sir.
And that's what's worked for me with all of my children. Introducing them to multiple different things and giving them an opportunity to find something that they love to do. And then in turn, you fall in love with it because
they fall in love.
Exactly, and you see your kids out there competing and getting better and being a good teammate and all the things that we work on.
Yes, sir.
And try to give them as coaches. You get to see all of those things take place. So I love it. I really enjoy anything else, man. Coaching is my passion. If I can find somewhere to get paid millions of dollars for, I love to get paid millions of dollars.
Daggone right. So now, coaching all these different sports: softball, baseball, football. Now tell me what's some of the things that you do during your off time to prepare with going into these sports?
Well, as a coach, and as most coaches know, there's really no such thing as off time, especially as a coach that coaches multiple sports.
Yes, sir.
So always learning, always trying to get new information. I'm always online or talking to a coach, looking at some online webinars and seminars, and just getting information, getting new information. A lot of the information that I see is information that I already have, but every time I look at something, there's always something new to learn. I'm a firm believer in if a coach expects his players and teams to continue to get better, then the coach has to continue to get better. So, that's one of the things that I try to do is continue to get better as a coach.
Yes,
if I can learn something from one off season to the next that I can bring to my guys or my girls that's going to benefit them, I'm all for it. And no matter how much have to pay for it.
Yes, sir. But you're always up to learn something.
Always learn. If you can't go wrong, always learn. Like I said, 90% of the stuff you gonna hear. You play college basketball, so
yes,
I'm
sir.
sure if you ever go and look at these coaches' seminars and things like that, you're gonna hear stuff that you've heard before.
Yes, sir.
But you also gonna hear something that you've never heard before.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing to me about coaching is as long as your coach continues to get better, your team should continue to get better.
That's tough. So now you said coaching girls and guys. So what's some of the differences you see in coaching girls and guys within any sport?
One difference, I would say, girls have to feel good to play good. Boys have to play good to feel good. That's
Say
the
that for me
major
one more
difference.
time.
Girls, they have to feel good to play good.
Girls have to feel good to play good.
Boys have to play good
To feel good.
to feel good.
How you come up with that?
It's just an observation, just coaching different age groups, different sports. You know, over the years, you learn that. Softball, perfect example. When we show up in the morning to a ball field, or show up in the evening to a ball field, if I've got 12 girls that are in good mood, happy, excited, practice game, all those things are gonna go good. Now you're gonna deal with some adversity, but that's within any competition. But for the most part, when they feel good about themselves and they're confident and all of those things, you can get so much more out of girls when they feel good. When their mental and emotional state is in a good place.
Yes, sir.
Boys, they need to play good. Like, I gotta go out here and score 20 points.
In order to feel good.
In order to feel good.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? It's just one of those things from observation and just, like I said, different age groups, different kids, different demographics.
Yeah.
You know, you understand that. Especially in our community, that's one of the things that feeling good comes from us playing good.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? You start the game and you're locked in, you focus.
Yes,
You go out there, you get 3 or 4 dunks in a row.
Oh, you on.
Now I'm feeling
Yes,
good.
sir.
Now you in that zone.
Yes, sir.
And it's, you know what I'm saying, you producing, you competing, you doing everything that you want to do.
Yes, sir.
If we show up to a ball field and these girls ain't feeling it that day, that just ain't the day. You know what I'm saying?
That's just come off all their emotions and stuff, though.
Exactly. And boys are emotional as well. I learned that coaching high school football.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emotion within these young boys. They just haven't figured out how to
Control it.
channel it. As far as they know how to control it, you know what I'm saying? They know how to, okay, now I'm upset, I'm turning it up a notch.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? They know how to control it. It's more of a channel, not keeping that emotion from taking your mind away from the task at hand. It's kind of like some people can play football all hyped up, you know, rah, rah, rah,
Yeah.
that kind of deal. I've never been able to play like that. I can't focus on the game. When I'm worried about talking junk to this dude
That dude coming
or
at you.
getting him back because he just blindsided me in the back. I can't play like that. So I always have a good time. You know, I always kind of keep it even keeled and have a good time. Do I get pissed off within the game?
Sometimes, yeah.
It happens. It's going to happen with any athlete. But, you know, that's the things that have kind of stuck with me from having, like I said, deal with all age groups, all sports for the most part. You know, just, excuse me, that's it.
So talk about coaching the different age groups, because I know when I train, I coach some kids that are 7, some kids 11, 14. You coaching different ages. So how do you relate or send your message within the sports to 7-year-olds versus 14 and 15-year-olds?
Good question. So the way that I coach, and some people will tell you that they do it differently, that coaching is not a one-size-fits-all deal. I believe that you can coach every age group the same way, the same stuff, but it's a different level of comprehension. So, for example, the things that football is my example. The things that I teach my 8-year-old boys, my 10-year-old boys, are all things that I learned when I was 15 and 16.
So you didn't get that knowledge until you was high school.
Exactly. So I have an opportunity to give them this information at 8, 9, and 10. So now I'm giving them this information, but it's not on the same level as I'm giving it to a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's the same information.
It's the same concept. So now when this kid goes from 8 and he becomes 16, he's been looking at this concept of football or concept of sport for 8 years. Yeah. And every year that he's learning this concept, you add and you add and you add. Yeah. So eventually when he makes that 16, he's got all the information. Yeah. See what I'm saying? I don't change anything. I just find different and creative ways to keep it simple and still explain to the kids what, put them in these positions, give them the information, and then eventually it starts to click. It only takes 2 or 3 times for a coach to tell you how to do a drop step. And as far as the post move, you know, you're gonna work on it, you're gonna mess up. But as you get older, at 10 and 12, you know what a drop step is. Yeah. At 13 and 14, you know why this drop step is affected by high school, college, that age group. Now you know how to do it, why it works best, what situation it works best in, and it all started from you learning at 8 years old how to do a drop step, why to do a drop step. See what I'm saying? It's just kind of a stepping stone kind of process. Yeah. This is the end result, but we're giving him this information so that when he gets to this point, all the blanks in between have been filled in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So talk about the game itself, because you played football. So talk about when you played football. Do you see any difference between when you played and to now coaching the game and seeing how these kids play today?
I do see a difference, but it's not. The difference is the level at which coaches are comfortable with coaching their kids.
Explain.
Since the kids that I've coached in football were 6 years old, we've learned the same football that I learned at 16 that, you know, my coaches and I have known. We learned that same football. So, with that being said, we were coached in a certain manner. And people feel like that style of coaching can't work anymore.
It can't work in today's time.
Right. It can, but it has to be modified, just like anything else in the world going forward. Everything evolves.
Yes, sir.
The game evolves.
Yes, sir. It gets
better.
better.
See what I'm saying? We want the dudes from my era. We want those hits where somebody mouthpiece flying out.
It'll be coming off.
But the game, the way that the game is played now, there's less and less of that because we have all these safety concerns and things like that, which are legit concerns. Football is a tough game. But
so many ways to get hurt in the game.
Exactly. But it boils back down to, for me, and I tell my boys, and I'll tell anybody, any coach that knows me, if you can count to 10, you can play football. Football is one of the simplest games you can count to 10 in the world. If you can count to 10, you can play football.
Now, how you make that theory?
I made that theory based on some football that I learned in regards to teaching how to read defenses, how to read defensive tackles and linebackers in their positioning on the field to determine who you have to block. So just a short kind of understanding of the middle of the defense, and see whether it's a nose guard or a linebacker.
That's his number.
He's in the middle of the field, so his number is 0. And then that first guy, whether it's the D tackle behind him or if he's a linebacker and the D tackle's on the ground, he's going to be number 1. You see what I'm saying? So now on my offensive side of the ball, my center, his number is 0.
So he covers.
My guard, his number is 1.
So they covering.
My tackle,
So
his number 2. So
yeah.
now they come to the line. That center's gonna holler, I got 0.
I got
That
1.
guard's gonna holler, I got 1, I got 2, so on and so forth.
That's smart, yes sir.
And it's a simple breaking it down, splitting it half in 2, and giving them an opportunity to count this half of the box or whatever half of the box is play side. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
sir.
I mean, just little things like that. These kids deal with numbers and letters every single day. Football is numbers and letters. Got your number holes on offense. On defense, our gaps are A, B, C, D, E, whatever, depending on how many linemen we have and where the gaps are.
That's smart, man.
Simple.
Kids do deal with numbers and letters every day.
Is that one thing that worked with me, teaching my defensive guys at 6U. I would show up to practice early, figure out where I'm gonna run team for that day, set my cones down, and in between my cones where my gaps were, I would spray paint A, B, C on the ground. So now they can look on the ground and recognize.
This is the fundamental
A
teaching
gap.
of.
And they don't even realize they learning football. It's some letters and numbers.
Just letters and numbers.
You see what I'm saying? A gap, B gap, C gap. So now when we go to team or we're no longer doing that anymore, that particular exercise, now that kid in 2 weeks in the summer workout, he's walking up and he already knows.
You already know that's
A
right.
gap.
That's me right here.
You see what I'm saying? Just little things like that, keeping it simple, breaking it down. That's the biggest thing that a lot of coaches struggle with, in my personal opinion, is breaking it down enough for anybody to understand.
Not just one age group.
Not just one age group, anybody. So, and the 10U guys are gonna understand more than your 8U guys.
Yes.
It's just the mental maturation that is taking place between an 8-year-old
And a 10-year-old.
and a 10-year-old. So you can give that 10-year-old a little bit more information,
A little bit more advanced information than an
But if you've
8-year-old.
been giving them a piece of information every time from 6 all the way up,
Oh, now,
there
yes,
ain't
sir.
very much information left between 12U ball, middle school,
And high school. Yes,
you
sir.
see what I'm saying? I think ball changing as much as it does between middle school and high school, that kind of sets us back a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're trying to get on the same page, at least on our side.
least on our side, yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And get these boys learning the same things, starting from the bottom. I believe that when that kid comes to 6th grade, goes through the 8th grade, when he goes to the high school and he steps on the field for Coach Twitchell, and Coach Twitchell says, I need you to run this.
He already
He's
knows.
heard that before.
Yes,
He
sir.
know, you know what I'm saying? So now that saves Coach Twitchell and the rest of the coaches
Practice time, going over the same information that we don't have to go
You
over.
ain't got to reinforce a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Now we just
on the go.
We're gonna do a quick little run through, make sure everybody knows, and then we moving on to the next step.
Yes, sir.
And you can get
build.
you
Yes,
built
sir.
like that. You see
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? There's been times where the JV ran something different from the varsity, including when I was in school.
Yes,
we
sir.
ran a different set of plays and
Than what the varsity
formations
had going on.
than what the varsity had going on. They're starting. I know when I was at West Craven over the past few years, they were doing it. They were teaching the same defense to the JV.
In the varsity.
In the
So when the
varsity.
JV get,
So now but of course they've got new things that they didn't have when I was in school, like the 8 quarter. So now in high school football, you can play up to 8 quarters a week in football. Yeah, they have a form that you sign. So if you play on Thursday night, after the game, if your parent signs a form, gives you permission
oh,
to
you can
play,
play JV and varsity.
you can.
Oh, I could be a ninth grader. On Thursday night, I'll be playing JV. Friday night, I'll be playing varsity.
If you that good. That's exactly right.
Oh,
they test you they give you a test to make sure that you're not dehydrated, and you can suit up on Friday night and play.
Ooh.
See, they didn't have those kinds of things
when you was in school.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even just when you were in school.
Yeah, you couldn't play JV.
They didn't have those things. You were either on JV or you were on varsity.
Yes,
so, you know, it changes. Like I said, everything evolves, and you have to kind of be prepared for the evolution. I think that was key. Yes. So now they're going to have kids that come back and play defense, that move up to varsity.
They already know the defense.
They know what to do at DN. They know what to do at linebacker because they've been doing it since the day they stepped into West Craven High School. You see what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I'm about is continuity on all levels.
Yes, sir.
I would love to see it happen.
Me and you both.
I think it would take our athletics to another level in this community because we create athletes. We have a bunch of athletes, basketball and football,
yes, sir,
that have the talent to go and do anything. But there's just a few things that have us set behind in this area. It's a lot. I talked to a college kid who played at West Craven High School. We had a couple conversations before he went off to school during his senior year. And I told him, I said, the biggest thing that you're gonna run into when you get to school is gonna be the learning curve. You can do the football part. If you couldn't do the football part, they wouldn't be trying to give you a scholarship.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, I told him you're gonna come into school with kids at your position who've already been seeing the things that they're seeing at college. They've been seeing that for 2 years in high school, so they're prepared. And you have a learning curve
because we ain't teaching the same things that they already teaching in that. Yeah.
Or we're teaching it, just not as early.
It's not as early.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in anything you give a kid, they can learn. Yes, as long as you're patient, as long as you are not overbearing.
Yes, sir. So what's next, man? You done softball, baseball, you coach football, you coach basically everything that they come up with as a sport. What's next for Coach Larry?
I don't really know what's next, man. I just kind of softball and football are going to remain a staple in my life.
Yes, sir.
Just because that's what my family competes in. I just bought me a boat, so.
Yes, sir. Pull up on you back there. You muddy. You back there watching the boat come from the beach.
So I just bought me a boat, so I'm gonna be into that a whole bunch.
Yes, sir. Living life, man.
But other than that, man, it's gonna be the same thing. Landry's hollering about playing some soccer. So the last time he played soccer, I ended up coaching.
So you about to coach soccer now? Oh man, you about to coach soccer now?
I coached soccer a long time ago. It's probably Landry's about 3 or 4 years ago.
I can see him right now on Facebook in the soccer uniform out there right there.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna do it. If he is gonna do it, of course I'm gonna be involved as much as I possibly can, or as much as whoever his coaches are, will allow me to be involved. But
yes, sir.
Hopefully they'll give us our softball season back, man.
Yes,
I was sick this year because we were balling.
And they took it.
Man, we were balling. We had girls. We had seniors hitting home runs. I'm talking about we getting off to a
good start,
season.
boy.
And then we rolled a couple in a row, and then bam, here come the virus, and you can't shake hands.
Yeah.
And you ain't playing no more.
Can't play, yeah.
So it's just been a little bit stressing, not having anything. But like I said, I've been able to work on the boat and get some things done.
Yeah.
I'm ready for some ball.
I'm ready for some ball too, man. I'm ready to come back. And there y'all have it, y'all. That's the end of the 16th episode with my man, Coach Larry. We out. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. Please continue to show your love and support by clicking the subscribe button below the video. Check us out next week on the next episode of the Josh Cuthbertson Show. We out.